Hello everyone, this is Marinda Nelson. I train the leaders of the brilliant new era. And the brilliant new era is acknowledging and appreciating all of the technological advances that have happened over the last number of years. And now we're bringing in the human component. This starts with those of you that are healthcare providers. Practicing medicine, doing your thing the way you have dreamt of for some of you since you can remember. You had this vision that sustained you through med school, through nights away from your family, through long hours, and then you get into the healthcare field and you have this idea of how it can be and you're so excited about it, and then you can't find it. And then they tell you can't do it that way because it's not going to be profitable, because you're not going to have your people, because you're in Central America, because you're a girl, because you're a guy, because you're neuro, because you're derm, because you're physical therapy, because there's all of these stories that we get in our head, right? We're too tall, we're too serious, we're too casual, we're too, we swear too much. We get these crazy ideas in our head of who we are supposed to be for that to actually come into being. But here's the thing. We won't dream the full dream unless you feel safe enough to dream the full dream. And you're not going to feel safe enough as long as you still think it's necessary for people in general, but especially certain people, to like you. And there's a lot of authenticity teachers out there, but they have the order backwards. Right? You've done great work working with them. You've read the books, you've done the retreats, you've done the things, and it's great, right? And you've seen the do it your way, and you get to be you, and we do these workshops and we do these things, and it all so matters. But where this really dropped in, right? And I taught this, I coached this for many years, and it really didn't drop in. It didn't really make sense. It didn't really become embodied, they would say. I didn't get it to my core until this safety piece was in place. And this is what I teach in my program that I gift to every one of you. It's available to you. You don't have to pay me a dime. I gift it to every healthcare professional looking to develop empowered and authentic relationships where you are cherished, loved, and respected for all of who you are, and you don't give a shit. It's the piece they don't tell you about, but they do tell you about, right? But then it comes through this distortion and through this lens of like, yeah, you get to be you, but until you get to these core concepts of resetting how you do relationship, because I will tell you, most everything you have been taught about relationship, especially here in the US, especially in Central America, where I specialize, where my clients are, because we have understandings and community beliefs and societal norms that are different than on the coasts and in the more metropolitan urban areas, right? It's one thing when you live in a community of 3 million to say, oh, I'll just find somebody that likes me then. But it's a very different understanding, isn't it? And I think it's much more complicated in concept, and it's not when you get to the root core of the thing, right? Once you get to the root of the thing, then all of these symptoms don't actually matter. But there's a belief that it matters a whole lot more in a community of 300 and 3,000 and 30,000 right, is a very different community than the 3 million. So, resetting this relationship, the relationship that you have been taught has been based on attachment and codependency. Neat. What the hell does that mean? We know the word codependency often from unhealthy, toxic relationships. Maybe that's with alcohol. Maybe that's with drugs. Maybe that's with a person. And I remember hearing about this codependency concept the first time, and I was like, oh, where you get like really dependent and attached to something? Like, that's every relationship. Where is the boundary? Like, once it becomes toxic, so then at what point is that healthy? And then at what point is that like a gray zone where you're not really sure? Oh, no, actually, you don't need that at all. Actually, the second you are looking to somebody to meet a need of yours, it gets manipulative and distorted, and it's insecurity based. And so I'm not saying that to put you down. I'm saying that to bring awareness to, okay? When we are looking to somebody else to fulfill our needs, they're not going to do it the way that we think. They're going to do it the way that they think. And then we're going to be mad. And then we're going to try to manipulate them. And then we're going to resent them. And then when you meet your needs, when you realize how powerful in your life you are, when you realize just how much influence you have, when you realize just how many options are out there, when you realize just how you bring resources in and how you bring people in and how you being you and taking all of these masks and all of these supposed to's off. I go so much into this in this program. It's hard to break it down into like 10, 20 minutes. I'm gonna do what I can. I'm probably not going to make any sense, and it's okay. It gets my excitement and my passion for this across. Okay? Your patience, your staff. Now, here's the difference though. Because when we have that conversation about you do those things, and what they do for you then is extra and is a bonus and is gratitude, right? When you get to simply be excited, when your well-being is not put in someone else's hands. Now, this is mental, this is physical, this is financial, this is your well-being, right? So while you may have an accountant, while you may have a front desk person, while you may have a romantic partner, while you may have a business partner, a referral partner, whatever, you realize that if something goes down with that, you've got your back, no matter what, okay? Which means, yes, this partner relationship may need to separate, business partner, team member, staff member may need to separate, but you know that you bring great people into your world. You have done the work, you have handled your insecurities, you have high standards, and you bring people into your experience that meet those standards. That if you need to redirect the sixth arc, this person out of your experience, that's okay, because you're making room for someone greater. You have up-leveled, you have raised your standards, which means those that no longer meet them get to filter away. Either they get to come along for the ride or they get to filter away, right? They get to have whatever opinions about that they have. You're doing your thing. You're doing you. But you need to realize that you're safe first. This is where trusting you, having your back, realizing what's important to you and what's not, comes into play. When you realize that if that person doesn't like you, if that patient doesn't like you, if you're not the referral partner for that person, if you are not the place that this consultant does their best work, that's okay. You can separate from them. You will hold your standards and hold the space for someone to come along. The ideas, the patients, there's internet now, there's patients will drive in the rural US. There's all of these different opportunities and options and things that you have excluded because your mind, your heart, your soul will not even bring these things to your attention until you are ready to see them. Until you have up-leveled your, yeah, I got this, enough to even bring it into your awareness. So if you have a dream, you already know that you can do it. If you have a dream, you already know that you can do it. You would not even allow that to come into your awareness if you didn't feel safe enough to do it. So pre-leadership, clarifying your vision, getting you confident and deeply comfortable means getting this relationship component correct first. Right? I have a whole program on that. I gift it to you. It's on my website. Message me for the links. You don't have to pay me a dime. I gift it to you because it is so powerful. That is actually the only thing you need, is to rebuild this foundation for relationships. This is your relationship with your identity as a healthcare provider. This is your relationship with your body. This is your relationship with your mother. This is your relationship with your grandmother. This is your relationship with your neighbor. This is when you reset these, when you realize how influential you are in your life. This is manifesting. This is praying. This is whatever word you use. Following your intuition, magnetizing. Like there's all these words for it out there. But first you get to realize that you can do it. That you are doing it. And once you see that, and once you get how influential you are in your life, you are, whether you've given that power away or not, you are living your life. You got this. You do. And once you realize how much you do, and once you realize how there are systems and structures out there to support you, and how they support you, not constrict you. Right? This is energetic. This is material. This is, I could like dive off the deep end into energetic spiritual land. But this is your blood vessels. Right? This is banking systems. This is social media algorithms. This is the highway networks. There are systems out there to support you. And as you say yes to this dream, as you realize that you are the one to bring it into being, that no matter what, you are authentic, which means that you provide and protect the place for your full expression, for you to value what you value, for you to show up fully as you provide that to you. You protect that space. That is authenticity. That is authenticity. So once you realize how influential you are in your life, once you realize that systems and structures are there to support you, and once you realize to your core that it is your job to provide and protect a place for you and your dreams and your expression, I got this. Then you bring in the resources to make it happen. The people, the patience, the buildings, the finances, the connections, the loans, angel investor, whatever it may be, the coders, the person that's looking exactly for you, the whatever, the person that drops this crazy ass idea in your head that you're like, oh my God, that's exactly what I've been looking for. Yes. You bring those things into your life, and then you, as the creator, as the developer, as the leader, as the one that sees things in a unique way, has a deep passion for helping people, not because they can't do it themselves, but because you love showing up as a resource for them, because you know that they can do it. Totally different energy, same thing. We're talking about actual empowerment here, not labeling and enabling, but this is true empowerment. You know that they can do it, and you love showing up as a resource for them. Yes? You get to serve from your overflowing cup, never depleted. I know that sounds ridiculous in healthcare with burnout rampant and glorified. It's not necessary. It's not. This is where you meeting your needs first comes in. This is not selfish. This is required. I know it's spoken of places in different ways and cutesy and whatever. Once you get this relationship foundation built correctly, once you get it built solid, this becomes a matter of course. What you do. Okay? Then you can develop a clear vision. Now, you've done steps of this along the way, and you're going to continue to do steps along the way. Right? You have a vision. It comes more and more clear. It becomes more and more tangible as you say yes to more and more pieces of it. As you realize you are safe to do it. As you realize that it is possible for you. That you call the resources in, that you set the standard, that you have the vision, and then you provide that vision. You protect that vision. You do that. And it is out of the greatest respect and the greatest love and the greatest commitment to you. That you bring this into being. Do you see where this is Spiral Coaching and Consulting is actually the name of the business? Because this starts within. I know I should step back further. Hi. This starts within. So deep, so true. This is root chakra stuff. This is heart chakra stuff. This is, you don't get to here until you get safe. But also you don't get safe until you start saying yes to your purpose, until you start saying yes. You're going to see it. It's going to seem crazy. You're going to say, you know what? I'm a badass. I got this. And as you get safe, then it gets more clear. Right? And then you start to play with, well, what could that look like? And what version of me could that be true? And well, why not? Well, yeah, I got that. And then you can start asking those questions instead of simply pushing it away. Well, maybe. What could that look like? And all of a sudden, this starts to show up. It starts to show up. It starts to show up. This is that influence that you have in your life. And once you realize that that's true, then the rest of this falls into place. The rest falls into place. And before you know it, you have developed and are leading your dream practice that is fun and fulfilling and prosperous and profitable. And the people that thought that you were fucking nuts because they will are now asking you, how did you do that? How did you do what? Like, huh? And then you will have done it so gracefully and so naturally, and it's such a natural extension of who you are. Yeah, there's hiccups along the way, and there's snags, and there's challenges, and there's like facing your fears and dealing with your demons and shadow work and like monster taming and all of these things. And yes, that all happens, but also you'll be like, I don't know, I saw my patients. I did what I love to do. I hired an incredible team. I called an incredible team in around me. I called incredible patients in. But really, it's this standard stuff. It's this releasing the codependency stuff. It's this foundation of empowered and authentic relationships. And once you do that, the rest of it naturally grows. And coming through my programs and coming through some of these things and the learnings that you've done along the way, you will have the words to then teach it and expand upon it. And then your vision continues to expand and to grow. So it's pre-leadership, right? The core collection, that's the program for that. Foundations of an Empowered and Authentic Relationship is a part of the core collection. Then it is light leadership. I do that program twice a year. I'm not doing it again till April. Don't worry about it. Okay. And after that, I have programs for this expansion leadership. Essentially, it's bringing you back to an up-leveled version of the core collection. Start there. Build this foundation. Yes, the core collection program is there, and the foundation program is available as my gift to you. Start seeing that your dream is possible now. Start building the relationships with your dream, with you, with your colleagues, with your patients. Start building those relationships now. Don't let another toxic personal relationship derail you. Don't let that person's voice in the back of your head have that power over you anymore. These are the things that are possible. These are the things that you are looking for. These are the things that are there and available to you. These are resources that you have called into your experience. I'm not everywhere. I'm not super available. It's on purpose. That those of you that are following your intuition, that have asked for this, that follow your intuition to kind of take you down some like weird chain to get to a video of mine, this is what you were looking for. You have called this into your experience. Do you see how powerful you are?